Three, two, one. Happy Friday, everybody. Meteorologist Dontae Jones here in the Dick Goddard Weather Center with you on this Friday evening. We finally wind down the work week and get you into the weekend and talk about the forecast. It's a tale of two weekends. Saturday, not looking so good. Sunday, looking a lot better. But Saturday in particular, we have to talk about because there is the chance for some of these storms that roll through tomorrow to become strong to severe. A chance. So it's not a foregone conclusion. It's really conditional on the atmosphere and the atmosphere's behavior and what it does. And we'll talk about that. We'll dive into it in just a second. First, though, always a fair warning. I like to give sort of a disclaimer for those of you who just want the nuts and the bolts of the forecast. Just give me the forecast and move on. I invite you to go to fox8.com because there you can look at the forecast, get exactly what you need. If you like to take your time a little bit, we're not confined to the 3 minutes that we have on TV. This is live, so we can take our time a little bit. Then you can join me if that's what you have the time to do. So again, just if you're just wanting the forecast and the 3 minutes that we have on TV, this ain't it. Go to fox8.com. However, I won't be very long, because I still got to eat dinner before the 10 o'clock newscast. So, all right. So, big story. Rain and thunderstorms headed our way tonight/tomorrow, about 4 or 5 in the morning. And I'll run through the future cast, and you'll be able to see that. Some of those storms could be strong to severe, warm and muggy, expecting. You probably feel the mugginess and the warmth now. But Sunday and Monday, much better. Sunshine, cooler temperatures, lower humidity. Next week, we get the heat and the humidity back and some sunshine and a few storms too. It feels like July. It's going to be July and it feels like it. And that's kind of what you want if you're a lover of summer like I am. And if you're a lover of winter, just like you want the cold temperatures and the snow in the winter. You want the season for what it's worth. You don't want it acting like another season, unless that season's your favorite. All right, so we've got partly to mostly cloudy skies across the area. I think it's predominantly cloudy up along the lake with a few sprinkles. I just ran out to grab a little something. There was a few sprinkles on the ground out there, so that is verifying. In Ashtabula County and Geauga County and Lake County, a few light sprinkles here or there. But by and large, we are all mostly dry so far. There you go right there. Whenever you switch to the radar, as opposed to satellite radar, or SATRAD for short, then you can tell it's kind of verifying there in Ashtabula and Lake and Geauga counties as far as a little light shower or so. So temperatures, there's a northerly breeze coming in off the lake. And on top of that, with the cloud cover, temperatures along the lake are a little bit cooler. So 77 in Cleveland, 75 in Lorain, and 73 in Ashtabula, but then get away from the lake and that northerly breeze. It's more of a southerly breeze behind this warm front. You got those temperatures in the 80s. So a little meteorology 101 for you. It's all about the winds. Winds play a huge role in temperature and in atmospheric moisture as well. You know, notice when we talk about northerly winds, it's cooler, it's less humid. Southerly winds, it's warmer and it's more humid because it taps into the Gulf of Mexico, puts that in the atmosphere and carries that all the way up here to where we are. So that's what we're seeing right there. Our dew point temperatures, the measure of humidity in the atmosphere, we were earlier in the 50s and lower 60s. Now we're in the lower to mid 60s. So this is what we talk about when we call moistening up of the atmosphere. So that transporting of that southerly wind, transporting of the moisture advection is what we call that big term, meaning you get the humidity and you transfer that from the south to the north. So moisture advection headed our way. And so we get not only rain showers coming our way tonight, but humidity and water vapor in the atmosphere. Look at that dew point now in New Philadelphia at 70. So it's pretty muggy down in the New Philly right now. So we'll be in the 70s for much of the evening once we lose daylight. It will be one of those evenings where it's a nice summer evening and you're sitting out on the porch or in the backyard or the front yard or wherever, and you're just kind of playing with the family and the kids and the friends are over, and maybe you're having dinner or just, chit chatting, shooting the breeze or what have you. It's one of those nice summer evenings that you think about when we're in the middle of December and January. And it's just like, just to sit on the porch in the summer evening, just kind of enjoy family and friends or by yourself or just whatever. It's one of those nice evenings. On this date, though, it wasn't a nice evening 100 years ago, back in 1924. If you watched our newscast, Melissa Reed did this story too. An F4 tornado moved right along Lake Erie, and it struck Lorain and Sandusky, and it was the deadliest single tornado in Ohio history. I can't remember how many people in her piece said were killed. I think 70 or 80 or something like that. But it's just devastating. And the folks in her piece, it's a real interesting piece, and I'm sure we'll air it again at 10 o'clock tonight. So if you are watching the 10 o'clock news, that's a piece that'll be interesting to see. She interviewed several folks who their parents and some of their aunts and uncles were devastated and impacted by this tornado, and so they're commemorating that this year. So that's one of the reasons why I like to take a look back on this date in weather history. It's just some phenomenal things, good and bad, that have happened on this date in history. All right, so upcoming events this weekend: Balloon Festival going on. Yesterday and today were the best days for it. Tomorrow, not so much, unless it's going on in the evening tomorrow. We do salvage the evening tomorrow evening if these models remain correct. And the International Festival going on through Sunday. Today and Sunday are the best days. Tomorrow, not so much, unless it's going on in the evening, maybe a little better. Then the River Rally in Cleveland tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms going on for the River Rally. So I don't know how much rallying we'll be doing along the river, unfortunately. All right, here's the big synoptic picture. And synoptic meaning, when we talk about mesoscale, we talk about thunderstorm scale, where it's affecting maybe one city or half of a city or something like that. That's mesoscale. Synoptic scale means it's affecting portions of the country. We're looking at a country when we look at synoptic scale. Global scale is you're looking at the whole earth. That's all meteorological terms. So I say all that to say, synoptically, we got a big warm front that's lifting now across the area, and that's why we're in the 80s. That's why the southerly flow of wind, and you got the warmer temperatures and the humidity. And so by tomorrow morning, we get a round of showers and thunderstorms. Now, here is the question. Here's the condition. After this line moves through here, and there you can see a lull in the action about 9, 10 o'clock or so in the afternoon. The question is, do we remain cloudy and showery, or do we break out with some sunshine? If we remain cloudy and showery, then the atmosphere does not have that instability, that warming up, that sunshine to warm us up that we need for the next round of storms that comes in the afternoon to be strong to severe. But if we break out with more sunshine, then the temperatures go up, the humidity goes up, that adds instability, and that next round of storms could be strong to severe. That next round about 1, 2 o'clock there in the afternoon, you can see that right there. So that's the question. So it's really conditional. Now, once those storms do pass, you can see here by about maybe 6 o'clock or so, we're starting to wind things down. And by about 8 o'clock, things are quieter. Maybe a little breaking up of the sky, the clouds, to see a little bit of sunshine just before sunset. That front pushes through, and then much better weather comes our way for Sunday and Monday. It's going to kind of feel like fall, because temperatures are going to be in the lower to mid 70s, and then you're going to take a lot of the humidity out of the atmosphere, so that drier air actually makes it feel cooler, so it has a fall tinge to it as we get into the last day of June and the first day of July. But don't worry, if you're like me and you want the warmer stuff, it's coming. Second day of July, it's ours. And so I'll show Futurecast that's a little close up here in a second, but just again want to show you the ingredients that we look at with severe weather. So we look at wind shear, which is there for tomorrow, the turning of winds with height. So higher up in the atmosphere that you go, the winds are turning different directions, and then sometimes they're also going different speeds with those different directions. The lift is a frontal boundary, something warm, moist air wants to rise. And so once it rises and interacts with the colder air in the upper atmosphere, that's what's unstable, and that's what starts to form those thunderstorms. And so because warm, moist air wants to rise and do that, when you get something that forces the air to rise, like a front or a low pressure that sucks the air up, then that gives us a better chance of showers and thunderstorms developing because the air is forced to rise and do that. Moisture we got plenty of is the M, the dew points, the humidity. We have plenty of that. Now that's the question, is the instability, the I. Do we have that fourth piece of the ingredient there to be able to make the whole severe thunderstorm pie, if you will? And that's what we'll be looking at tomorrow. And it's all dependent upon if the sun comes out. I said earlier today, little orphan Annie can stuff it for Saturday only. We don't want the sun to come out tomorrow. We want it to stay away so that the severe threat is lower. All right, so looking at this futurecast here, this is the timing. So about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, a line of rain and thunderstorms. Now, I will tell you, rain is the biggest threat with this whole system tomorrow. So some heavy rain, because there is a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. So these storms can wring out a lot of rain with this. So 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, a line of rain and thunderstorms moving through. Rain could be heavy at times. And then we'll play this through. And it's moving through, I'll back that up. It's moving through the Cleveland area about 6:30 in the morning there. So Alexis Walters will be on the air at that time to get you through that first round there early in the morning. And then it looks like it's kind of all out of here by about 9:30 in the morning. Then right there, that's where we take that pause, right there. So if this model rings true, we are predominantly cloudy with some breaks in the overcast. You can look towards Mansfield, towards New Philadelphia, where it's not as white. The clouds are indicated by white, and then that brownish color is the earth, so you can see through the clouds, so there's clear sky there. So it looks like it's predominantly cloudy with a little bit of break in the action. Even those little bitty breaks there, that can warm the temperature up quickly. That can warm the surface up quickly. So we're hoping to see more cloud cover than this, and maybe a little bit more shower activity, if you will, kind of around. That way, when this next round comes in here, I'll fast forward this. There's 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So when that round makes it in, if there's more cloud cover and showers, that round won't be as severe. So that round could still come in and look like that, but those storms will stay maybe strong, but not severe. Or maybe if they're severe, they may not reach tornadic level. So that's what we're hoping. But if more sunshine comes out during that mid to late morning, early afternoon period, then this line that's coming through at 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, those could be some strong to severe thunderstorms that are rolling through the Chardon, Cleveland, Oberlin, New London area through the course of the afternoon. Look at that, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Now, by 5 o'clock, they're all out of here. They're gone. What's left over is cloudy skies, some areas of patchy drizzle, maybe a renegade isolated thunderstorm, especially down south and west, Carroll, Columbiana counties or so. But then by 8 o'clock, it's done. We are maybe seeing some breaking up of the cloud cover, maybe seeing a little bit of sunshine just before sunset. And then we get into Sunday. And Sunday, we've got partly cloudy skies with maybe, what this model is trying to say, maybe an isolated lake effect sprinkle in, I'd say maybe Lorain County and eastward is what this model is trying to pick up on there. But by and large, we are drier, partly to mostly sunny skies on Sunday. Look at that northerly wind. Remember, it's all about the winds. That northerly wind says cooler temperatures and lower humidity, a fall tinge to us. So the Storm Prediction Center gives us that 2 out of 5, or slight risk of severe weather, mainly for that afternoon batch. Not saying that the early morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning batch can't have some severe weather with it, because it can. But the main batch that we're looking at is if the atmosphere recovers. Remember, it's if the atmosphere recovers. We're not saying this is a foregone conclusion that there's going to be severe weather. With thunderstorms like this, there's always an if-then component to the atmosphere because you're measuring all of these things and saying that it has the potential if it can reach it. So flooding, the biggest threat. Some ponding on the roadways, some minor flooding because of all the moisture in the atmosphere, all the humidity in the atmosphere. These storms can wring out a lot of rain. And then the next threats, if these storms can realize that potential, if the atmosphere recovers and gets sunny, then the other threats of the gusty winds, the large hail, and the isolated tornado as well could be realized. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that the atmosphere gets worked over and the sun does not come out tomorrow and we can stay, for the most part, unscathed. All right, so 72 tonight. Rain and isolated thunderstorms, again, by about 4 or 5 in the morning. Warm and muggy tonight. 85 tomorrow, rain and storms. It's going to be warm and humid tomorrow. You're going to notice the humidity tomorrow. Those dew points are going to be in the 60s and 70s, so really humid. You're going to notice that. And then, Sunday and Monday, 73, 75, sunshine, humidity low. The overnight lows even drop into the upper 50s Sunday night and Monday night. And then there's that July feel. Second day of July, 88 with sunshine on Tuesday. On Wednesday, 89, partly cloudy skies, a pop-up shower, a thunderstorm as a warm front lifts through the area, and 86 on Thursday for your 4th of July. Again, partly to mostly sunny skies, just an afternoon or evening pop-up shower and thunderstorm possible. And then partly cloudy for next Friday and Saturday, mid to upper 80s as well. Overnight lows in the 70s, mid to late week, and upper 60s. So that July summer feel, there we go. That's coming back. And I know there's been plenty of people on, when we look on social media and we ask you your thoughts on the weather patterns and do you like it cool or hot or what have you. There's some of you that are just like me. They're like, hey, it's summertime. Give us the heat. We last few summers haven't really had a whole lot of heat. And then there's others of you I know that are like, listen, this is too hot. Your favorite season is fall or early spring and you kind of like it cooler. I get it. But I think in this 8-day, there's a little something for everybody, in all honesty, in this 8-day. I think we all share in this. Anyway, so that's it here. Big picture, what was that, about 14, 15 minutes, something along those lines here. Big picture here is that we're just looking at tomorrow and the first round coming 4 or 5 in the morning. And if the atmosphere recovers and we get sunshine and we heat things up, then James Parrish and myself will be here tomorrow evening to watch the radar, to cut in if there's any severe thunderstorms with tornadoes, and we'll watch those. But if the atmosphere stays cloudy and showery, then there's a better chance, not saying the absolutely zero chance, but there's a better chance that we won't have severe storms in the afternoon. So first batch 4 or 5 in the morning, second batch about 1, 2 in the afternoon. All right, so I will be on at 10 o'clock this evening if you will be as well. If not, have yourself a great weekend, everybody.